All right, so now we are in ChatGPT in a logged in mode and still a free account, but this enables us to do a little bit more than we could do before. So first of all, I want you to notice at the top where it says ChatGPT, there's a drop down. When you click on this, you can now go to temporary chat. So if there's something that you don't want saved in this sidebar over here, you can click on temporary chat and it will not save that. Now it does keep it around for 30 days for their review, but it's not something that you'll see in your list over here. So that's just a privacy measure. Otherwise, it does save, it keeps a little library so you can access the information later. It's not something that's available on the internet, and it's not something that anyone else can access unless they're logged into your account. You're able to go over here and see a couple of conversations that I had with it just as examples, and I can go back and access those, and then I can rename it, I can archive it or delete it, or I can share it. And you can also share when you're working on something. Say I'm having it create an image. Let's create an image of the workforce. And the image generator has gotten so much faster and better, in my opinion, and it's going to continue to improve. So the version we're using now is the worst version that we'll ever use. But now we have this image. Say you want to share the entire conversation, the image, whatever it might be, you can click on the share button here and get a link to be able to share this. Now, you'll notice it says your name, custom instructions, or anything that you do in this chat afterwards will stay private. So just that portion that's already there will stay there. And now someone else, when you share this, they can actually interact with that data. So it could be something that you've created for a class, and then you share out the link so that students are actually interacting with whatever has occurred previously in that chat. All right, let's also talk about settings. So I mentioned before that this is private to you, but there's some things that you want to do with your settings to make sure that your data is not training AI unless that's something you feel comfortable with. So let's go over to, it says N for NCLA, however, it'll have your initials, and you're going to go down to settings and scroll down to data controls. Now, improve the model for everyone is a very polite way of saying that it's training on your data. So if you want to keep your data private, you want to turn this off. If you have it turned on, then it may also be training on your voice mode when you're doing a voice chat, which we'll look at in a moment, or even video recording. So that's something that for me personally, I want that turned off. I don't want it to train on my data. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be reviewed by a human reviewer. So let's say that you were to click underneath where it has good response or bad response. Maybe there was an ethical issue in the image or something that was inappropriate and you selected bad response. Most likely a human reviewer is going to go back to see why that was a bad response and to improve their model, to make some changes if they need to make some adjustments to their model. I also want to point out a couple of things within that chat window at the bottom. You can upload files here. So if there's something that you want it to interact with the files, you can. You can also use the web. When you're using the web, it shows you the sources as we saw in the free chat, which is super helpful. And then also the reasoning model here. And exploring GPTs. So you can access the GPTs for free when you're using the free model, but you can't create them. So let's go ahead and go into GPTs. If you wanted to create a GPT, which is a more customized model that does something specific or works within a specific topic, then you would need to go to the paid version. So where it says create, you'll notice that's grayed out because you'd have to have plus, and we're using a free account. So we're going to look up a GPT that I created through my other account. All right, so this is now going to be a GPT that is specifically related to career and technical education. So I uploaded documents and information and websites related to career and technical education, and also some common problems and questions that may be addressed, and also trained it on how to respond to questions. That's another AI Focused Friday that we will do in the future. But I do want to mention that that's something that if you decide to do a Plus account, you can create GPTs that are like that, but you can still access this one for free or other ones for free as well. And that's it for today's AI Focused Fridays. Please share in the chat if there are questions that you have, or if there are other ways that you're using ChatGPT that may be beneficial to other CTE educators. Again, I'm Rachel Mann. I look forward to seeing you next week for another AI Focused Fridays.